Hey people, D-Man here, and today I am reviewing The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf, a new Netflix animated movie. Very good movie, might I add. First, I'm going to do spoiler free, then I'm going to do spoilers. So, really quick, spoiler free. This was a really good movie. Let's talk about the pros and the cons, and also like art and animation stuff. So the animation was pretty good. I actually really liked the animation. I don't think there was many flaws. I didn't really see many flaws. I'm sure if I rewatch it, there's probably a few of them. But I really liked this animation. It was actually pretty good. I would love to see more movies like this. It'd be pretty cool. Not necessarily has to be The Witcher. It could be anything, just as long as it's really good. Um, Lots of blood and gore. It's a very nice animation. Um, so the animation's very good. The voice acting is pretty good as well. We get to hear some pretty nice voice acting. All the characters sound like the characters should, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody else has like a different opinion than that, but they sound like they would if I imagined them, I guess. I don't know if they sound different in like the video games or something, if any of these characters are in the video games. But they sound pretty good in this movie. Um, and then we have, so animation's good, voice acting is good. Um, then we have the plot. The plot, the characters. So the plot is pretty good. You can kind of tell a few things. Like it's kind of predictable in a few parts, but other than that, it's pretty good. There's a sad part at the end there. Can't really spoil it though, but there is a sad part in there. And there's some trickery going on, and you kind of realize why most people hate the Witchers in future stories, I guess. This probably had a lot to do with it. There was one thing that was dumb on the plot, but we'll talk about that in spoilers. I'll probably remember it. There was one thing that was dumb, but other than that, pretty good plot. The characters, very fun characters. Little bit lack. I mean, a little bit like I don't remember all the names of the characters because they kind of went by too fast. I feel like if it was like a series or if it was a little bit longer, I would have remembered them more. But went by a little bit too fast for you to remember all the characters. But the characters were pretty good for what they were. Like the villains, um, they were pretty good. The Witchers were pretty good. Our main character was pretty good. Although we kept on going back and forth between two timelines. But that's kind of a spoiler. But whatever about that. But yeah, characters are pretty good. Um, and that's about it, I guess. That's about it for spoiler free. Can't really talk anymore about spoiler free without spoiling it. So it's a pretty good movie. I would watch it and then come back and watch the rest of this. Unless you don't care, then watch this, then go watch it because it's still a really good movie and you should watch it. Anyways, spoiler alert.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, share this video, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Okay, so spoiler alert. This movie is based in two time zones. One is the past and one is the present. Kind of like The Witcher from like the live action Witcher kind of. It had like three time zones if I'm not mistaken, or at least two. But this one has two time zones. It's very interesting. And the part we'll leave the dumb part for last. Anyways, long story short, basically this kid, he's stuck being a slave pretty much. He doesn't like it, so he goes off for adventure to become a witcher. And it's a lot of hard trials and a lot of fucked up shit that happens to him. But eventually he becomes a witcher, leaving everything behind. and everything that he left behind kind of just said, live your life. Like the girl that he loved, his father dies. The girl that he loved says, like, live your life. I'll be fine. Just don't come back because, we're separated now. So he lives his life. The girl that he loves eventually gets married, has kids. Then they meet each other 80 years later. She looks like an old lady. Well, not 80 years. I guess she's about 80. So they were like teenagers. I don't know, like 15 or so. So 15 to 80, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. So like 60 to 70 years, maybe, like somewhere around there, 60 to 70 years before they haven't seen each other, which is a long time, unless they were younger. I don't know. I don't know, like somewhere around there. 60 or 70 years or so, I would say. So he meets this lady again, eventually. But basically, he goes around killing monsters like witchers do. Although he's very rude, he doesn't help anybody. He just kind of kills the monsters and leaves the mess for everybody else. It's kind of messed up. Um, there's this one witch that hates the witchers because she got fucked over by one of the witchers. One of the witchers killed her mother, and she hates the witches for that, wants revenge on them, goes as far as to become basically a villain. The witches are making hybrid monsters to make sure there are monsters alive for the witches to fight for the foreseeable future. Of course, our witcher doesn't know that, but he eventually finds this out and gets pissed off at them. And one of the monsters they make is like this half elf creature who is just bad, I guess. And she basically just wants to kill things. I mean, she basically just wants to get revenge and like have a family and stuff. And the witch and her join together at the end because the witch basically lies about what happened, and she becomes a villain. And then at the end, they attack the witchers, and all the witchers die except for our main character, and he becomes the head witcher. And I assume some witchers didn't die because I assume some witchers were like out on like adventures. But the majority of the witchers died, except for our main witcher and also the children. The children did not die, and one of the children was our main character from the original Witcher. The movie and the live action TV show, and probably the books, I would assume. Our main character is one of those kids. And that's how this Witcher became a legend. And the girl that he loves, they kind of have like a romance. It's kind of cute, but she eventually also dies from his hands because of an illusion that the half-breed elf thing made. And then he lets her live, by the way. They walk away, so she's still alive, and I assume she comes back in some sort of way in like the media. In like not like the media, I mean like in like the medium of like the books or the story or the video games or something. I assume she comes back eventually. Or maybe she just disappears forever. I don't know. But yeah, there's like this massive war that happens between them. It's epic, it's gory, it's bloody. And this is the part that was stupid though. So this sorceress lady, teams up with this evil elf monster thing. And they basically send portals from like swamps and stuff where all the monsters live to the Witcher's castle to destroy the Witchers. But she also brings an army of humans, and these humans also fight the Witchers. Yet for some reason the monsters only fight the Witchers, even though they're mindless monsters that they just kind of portaled here. They didn't even like summon them so they can control them. So that's the part I find the stupidest in this whole series, in this whole movie, is the fact that they summon these monsters and these monsters just didn't start killing indiscriminately. They just like, Witchers, kill the Witchers. It was kind of dumb. That was like the biggest, stupidest part. But other than that, pretty good storyline. Pretty good fight. Just epic fights. At the end, he ends up winning and he ends up raising up more Witchers. And of course, monsters come back and he doesn't have to create any, I don't think, at least. I think the people that created them are dead at this point. And a lot of other Witchers are dead as well. um, but yeah, at the end, he saves the day. He raises up these Witchers and he's very sad because his love interest dies. And at first you're thinking the witch is going to be his love interest. No, it's the old lady that's going to be his love interest. Because she was originally, and then she dies from his hands by accident. Very, very sad moment at the end there, but very cool and very just interesting, um, whole thing. It's very interesting. And then I guess it goes on from there. Very interesting and cool. But yeah, I really like this movie. It was really good. Um, wouldn't mind seeing more of these kind of movies. Doesn't have to be like The Witcher necessarily. It could be like anything as long as it's really good. But yeah, I really liked it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. That's the best way to keep my channel. Link down below to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, friends, stay sane. Peace.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, and share this video. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look. Look up here, buddy. Look over here.